So why logic models? Because they're useful. They're not just something that you're going to write out on a piece of paper, crumble up, and stick in a drawer. Or at least you shouldn't. They're useful for three main reasons: program design, communication, and evaluation. The first reason they're useful is program design. You can think of a logic model as a blueprint. So here's where you are, that's where you want to be, and a logic model gives you exactly the path that you need to take to get from where you are to where you want to be. So it can help with program design from scratch. Let's look back at my personal weight loss example, just because it'll be a little bit easier to work with. So if our long-term outcome is that I lose 10 pounds in 6 months, we know that our intermediate outcomes are that I decrease the amount of junk food that I eat and I increase the amount of exercise that I do. Our short-term outcomes are going to be that I increase my knowledge of healthy food that I like to eat. And for the exercise part, I begin to really see the results that I want, i.e. weight loss. So for activities, I'll take a cooking class that will help me learn how to make healthy foods that I like to eat. And for the exercise example, I'll engage in an activity that burns more than 500 calories an hour. So we'll drop in our outputs. I receive instruction on how to make healthier meals and snacks. And I begin using a stair climber. So then I'm going to see the results that I want. I'm going to start to lose weight, which is going to increase the amount of exercise I do because I'll be motivated to do it. But logic models aren't just used for program design from scratch. You can also use them for ongoing adjustment. Let's say that no amount of weight loss is going to make me stay on a boring stair climber ever. So we can pinpoint where that's not working. If I'm not losing weight because I'm not on a stair climber, then that's obviously a problem. So we can change it. We want to increase my belief that exercise is fun, because that's the problem. And so I'm going to join a roller derby team instead. The second reason logic models are useful is for communication. So the first would be for internal communication. So we have program staff 1 here. Success! Joey went to tutoring. He improved his grades. He filled out a FAFSA. He submitted his application and he got into college. There's Joey, happily studying away at college. And then we have program staff 2, who says success! Cecilia walked to the college, she bribed the security guard, and she got into the college. And there's poor Cecilia saying Joey actually gets to go to class. So, for internal communication, a logic model is a great way to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So here, we have program staff 1 saying, check out our awesome logic model. And program staff 2 saying, that makes way more sense. Of course it does. Logic models are also great for external communication. How well does everyone working in your program actually describe what you do? We see a lot of this, don't we? Stakeholders say, so what do you guys really do? Program staff says, well, we really do a lot and we do it really well. Or when stakeholders say, so what do you really do? Your program staff can say, let me show you exactly what we do. Logic models are also really useful for evaluation. The logic model becomes the blueprint for evaluation. It describes what the program is trying to achieve and how to measure that for effectiveness. So an evaluator can measure each of the outputs and outcomes to see how the program's doing, and then can work with program staff to fix the program or to make it better. So let's look at a couple of these. First of all, we're going to take the whole logic model. We're just going to lop off the activities because there's no evaluation measures under those. We're going to concentrate on the outputs and outcomes. So for the first output, community members receive information on choosing healthy foods. We're going to measure that by saying 75% of community members attend at least 3 workshops as indicated by attendance records. Let's look at the first short-term outcome then. Community members gain knowledge of healthy food choices. So we would measure that by saying 75% of those attending at least 3 workshops increase their score on a pre-post test. That's how we're going to decide if that is effective or not. with the intermediate outcome, just the first one. Community members eat healthier food. How do we know if they're eating healthier food? We'll determine that successful if 75% of community members report eating healthier food, as indicated on a survey. And lastly, our long-term outcome. We want community members to lose weight, but how do we know if that's happening? So here we'll say community members, on average, lose 5% of their body weight, as shown by health records. We can plot back in the activities, and there you have your entire logic model that's filled with ways to measure for effectiveness. So here's your first pop quiz. What are logic models used for?